Okay, guys, it looks like we are live, 5x5. Let me pull this up on YouTube and see what's going on here. Hopefully there's no echo. There we go. Okay, let's get some BGM going on. Background music. Let's bring this down to about 10. About 10, and we're going to go with a little bit of lo-fi. There we go. So, guys, it has been one whirlwind of a month. Seriously. Let me do this here. Live chat. Show activity. Got it. And we want to pin this comment. There we go. So, yeah. We're back. We're live. We're not dead. We're not dead. Not dead yet. I don't know what's going to happen with Sumo. We got to figure that out. Collectively, we got to figure that out. So, yeah, it's been a whirlwind of a last couple of months. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I lost my YouTube channel, the main YouTube channel. I lost it. NHK slapped me with 4 copyright strikes all at once. And I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one who got slapped with those strikes. It's, you know, it was pretty messed up. It was pretty messed up. 4 strikes in 2 days. And I was supposed to be able to repeal those strikes within 7 days, but they took down the channel within 2 days. So it's kind of sus. It's kind of sus right there. So the channel got taken down within 2 days. And so I had to create this new channel. And in order to create this new channel, my old phone was already associated with the channel, and we have to verify it. Japanators in the house. So I had to order a SIM card for a new phone or an old phone and get it quote unquote verified that way. It's not technically verified, YouTube verified. It's kind of they say verified, but it's kind of like, you know, it's I'm perplexed. I'm at a loss for words. It's not verified means you have that gray check mark, and this is kind of like, you know, saying that yes, I own the channel, and I'm the owner of the channel. So it is verified, but it's not gray check mark verified. And I'm really, really happy that all of this got done, you know, as quick as possible. And what am I drinking, guys? I am drinking the 7-Eleven Fruits Olay. Fruits Olay. It's actually pretty good. I really like this stuff. But all of that together. Okay, so I lost the channel. Okay. Let's say that's one thing. I've lost the channel. The second thing that happened, this was, okay, we're in March now. So this was in February. Uh, my main cell phone bill did not get paid. My main internet bill did not get paid. And you can take a guess whose fault that was. Let me know. Let me know if you need some French practice. I think merde is in there somewhere. But so the phone wasn't paid for, the internet bill wasn't paid for. So I had to run downtown, use the free Wi-Fi in order to transfer. And this is where the big thank you comes in, because this really seriously saved my ass. The Patreon supporters and my other supporters, thank you so much, because this really saved my ass. I ran downtown, used the free Wi-Fi that was available at the train station, and transferred the Patreon money to the bank account in order to pay these bills, the internet bill and the cell phone bill, those two bills. And wow, that was hectic. That was hectic. So we got our internet back. We've got the cell phone back. And then the next thing was get YouTube back. And that's where, this SIM card, the new SIM card comes in with the phone. If I hadn't done that, we'd still be offline. We'd totally be offline. It's, like I said, it was a really, really hectic couple months. And it's still like this month. And I'm going to say again, thank you to the Patreons. Thank you for the supporters, because nothing on your side has changed. I'm still here. The channel name has changed. The URL has changed. Yes, but I'm still here. Thank you for your support. This month we're in the red. We're minus. We're minus. Even with the Patreon supporters and stuff like that, we're minus this month by about close to $400. It's going to hurt. It's really, really, really going to hurt. And then, to make it worse, like we're on social media here, right? And when I lost my channel, and then I kind of came back, like I reinitiated another channel, and prior to the verification portion of that, somebody kicks me out and says, get the hell out of here. We don't need you. Get out of here. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, seriously? I've just lost my channel. I've just had to spend all my money on backlogged, bills so that we can get caught up. We're starting at zero. And they tell me, get the fuck out. We don't want you here. And I'm like, seriously? I helped you out when you were down. And now I'm getting this kick in the teeth when I could use your assistance. And I'm sitting there going, I kind of remember a time when, this or when that. And it's really heartbreaking to hear that. And it wasn't, it was instantaneous. It was bang, 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 bang. And there was no forethought put into it Um, a cute totally move. There was no forethought put into it. There was no conversation. There was it was just uh it like I mentioned, it was instantaneous. It was a matter of, you know, I'm sorry this has happened. This is the way it is. It wasn't, you know, a conversation as opposed to, hey, I'm having these issues. Can you adjust this? Or can you do this? Or can you do this differently? It was just bang, bye bye, sayonara. So, you'll join without vid? Okay, I got to put on the headset. Do you have your Japaneator? Do you have your avatar ready? Make sure you have your avatar ready. The link is pinned at the top if you want. But yeah, so like I mentioned, the house hunt. We're gonna come up with this in a moment. The house hunt, kiboshed, completely kiboshed. Saitama, fuck them. Toshiko's family has completely abandoned us, just like Upchuck over there, and they've completely abandoned us. So we're looking at jobs and homes in kind of the Kyushu area right now, and I started today. I'm looking at Fukuoka. When I found a nice job in Fukuoka today, it looks good. Will I get it? Will I not get it? I don't know. We'll find out. I hope I do. And if it's feasible, then that's where we're going. But as far as Saitama goes, we called because of the dire straits that we're currently in. We called the sister today, and we said, "Look, you know, hey, we're in trouble. This is the way things are." And she hung up the phone on us. I asked Toshiko to call the brother. I said, "Hey, look, we're in trouble. You know, can you give us a hand?" And there was no answer. So he still hasn't called back. So they've abandoned us. We're completely 100% on our own. The people that think that, you know, Asian families and that stick together and stick with their family and, you know, family first, that's not happening here. That's totally 100% incorrect in this situation. They've, like other people, you know, when I lost the channel and we hit bottom, other people said, "Okay, I'm sorry, I don't want you here. Get out. Goodbye, sayonara." Fine. Okay, now we're back. Now we're back, and we're bouncing back hard. So, gotta get another juice. So, I am currently building 3 other channels, and Japaneators in the house. Let's bring them on board. So I'm building 3 other channels. So there's this channel, the J Vlog, which is going to be a vlog channel.
Yep.
And there's going to be 2 others. One is a meditation channel and one is a yoga channel. One is strictly music, one is a tutorial type thing. And I'm going to blow it up. That's my intention. Even now, even with the few subs that I have, my viewership is on par with what I had before.
True.
So
Am I live?
you are live, man. I can hear you.
Holy crap. Okay. Whoa. All right. So I okay, so first of all, I just wanted to pitch in and say that it's totally unfair what's going on right now for you about whatever family is involved in Japan. And yes, you have taught me that, the Japanese culture is not all we think it is, right?
Right.
So I do admit that, but fuck totally Moo, and I have to put him right here on the spot because, dude, you're a Canadian just like me and him, and you are giving us the worst fucking image possible in all of Japan, and you're the only one that I can thank for that. If you want to milk people and milk bigger people than you in order to get personal gain, well, keep doing what you're doing, bro. That's the only thing I have to say. And if you show up in the comments section and you show up in the chat, I'll be the first one to take you on. And trust me, you don't want to fuck with me. That's all
Well,
I have to say.
elaborate on, the um, milking portion of that.
Well, man, if it's worth your time, you take it on. And then you do your little vlog and things, and you kind of like cooperate and stuff, and you go on with like the bigger guys, and then you put it on your channel as part of like content, right? And then what ends up happening is that people are like, oh yeah, I know that bigger guy, and you did a cooperation with them. Wow, that's cool. I'm actually sub to them, so I'm gonna sub to you. That's kind of like how it works online, right? So that's the way I see it a little bit.
Yeah, I can see it that way.
Hmm.
Like I've been watching a lot of food fighters.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. The
and
mukbang kind of
no,
style.
not yeah, kind of mukbang, but
Okay, okay.
like Joel Hansen and Scotty Eats, and Scotty and I,
Oh yeah,
Scotty's the smaller of the two channels.
yeah.
Joel is the larger of the two channels, and Scotty and I chat every once in a while, and he's like, yeah, I know you. You're on every live stream that I do, and blah blah blah, and the kid's great. Well, okay, I shouldn't say the kid. The guy's like 43, but the guy's great. And like I don't say anything derogatory. I say hi to the other people in the chat. They say hi to me. Scott says hi to me. I say hi back to him. I
It's
give
about
him
being cordial, right?
right. Yeah, it's about being cordial.
Yeah, yeah.
And ever since I was banned the first time, I've always been cordial. I've never been aggressive or even passive aggressive or even making fun of anybody. And
Or
yet,
even
bang, bang,
advertising,
bang.
right?
Not even advertising.
Yeah.
Not even advertising my channel. Just being cordial and just saying, hey, hello, how are you? Blah 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 blah, and then bang, snap, I get Thanos. And it's not. I'm not getting it from any other channels except for this one particular one. And that's what really irks me is these larger channels like Ryan, TE, Tokyo Explorer,
Mhm.
Joel, Scotty, all these other larger channels. You know, what's his name? Buddy from Chiba. All these other larger channels never banned me because
Yeah.
I'm cordial. Because I'm cordial. But this one particular one just says, well, we don't like you, so yeah, goodbye. Now I understand. Yeah, indeed. So, but I understand that. But the thing is, like, if we think of YouTube as an apartment rental, okay, so YouTube is kind of like an apartment rental, and I'm opening the door to the public. Okay, so I'm allowing the public in, but there's a doorman there and say, you can come in, you can't come in. You can come in, you can't come in. But I'm not given a reason why I can't come in. And I'm sitting there going, okay, it's your apartment, man. It's your rental. It's your situation. You can come in, like just now. You can come in. I welcome pretty much everybody. But when I'm told, in a public forum, hey, you can't come in, and not told why, or told that, hey, it's because of somebody else, you're just sloughing it off. I'm sorry. You're not being honest. You're not being honest with your audience. You're not being honest with yourself.
Well, basically the idea of like the building thing it's a pretty good one. It's a pretty good image. But the reason that you were given is that the neighbors are having trouble or something like that. If we're taking on your image. Now, it's like, okay, the neighbors are having trouble, but they're not specifically like allowing you to amend with these people because they're not telling you which neighbors they are, right? So
I'm not being told what neighbors they are, and I'm not being told what I'm doing wrong. I'm just being told because I'm me, he's not allowed in.
Yeah.
Period. That's the way it is.
And it's really funny because I'm gonna put it out right there. I understand people don't like me and people like me, but at the end of the day, do you have a problem with my personality? And is it because you don't have a similar personality or you wish you could have my personality? Because I'm assertive and I'm very confident in what I know. But the truth of the matter is that I'm using a lot of hours in my day keeping up with whatever is going on right now. I'm talking about globally, not just Japan related, like whoever people are living in Japan and they're like, oh, I want to keep up with Japan. No, I'm talking about Russia. I'm talking about Japan. I'm talking about China. I'm talking about Canada with the fucking dictator, Mr. Clown Trudeau over there that's fucking turning the country upside down like a future fucking China or whatever. Like fucking like Chinese intervention into like the fucking like voting of Trudeau to be like prime minister again or whatever, like
see, that's the thing.
it's just there's so many I can't name all of them.
That's the thing. That's part of your living room. That's not part of my living room. We don't.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't discuss that on any of my channels, but I do read the news, and kudos to you is how much you do read per day. And it's like, for those who don't know, Japanator and I talk on a daily basis.
Whoa. Hold on.
No,
not a daily basis.
We do talk on a daily basis. We shoot ideas back and forth. He shoots ideas at me. I shoot ideas at him. And the amount that he reads is just, for me, it's incomprehensible. It's like, there's no way I could keep up. I'm sitting there going, okay, I read the headline, but I don't know the full story. And then he enlightens me about the full story. And it's true. Like I focus and I drill on one or two topics. Whereas, the Japanator here, he's reading the headlines, he's absorbing all of this. And kudos to him. I don't know how he does it. Yeah,
Well,
that's
okay. So first of all, psychologically speaking, you're going to focus and really, get into what your interest is, and that's completely fair. That's a fair point. So the thing is that a lot of people online are going like, oh, this guy seems like a know-and-all and everything, and I'm just like, dude, do you even realize how much I'm taking my day? Like I have like 5 to 6 hours a day of looking around whatever is happening around the world, and I'm adjusting my life based on what I read or what I hear. I can just like give you a handful right now. It's like Canadian prepper doesn't seem to know what the fuck he's talking about regarding to Russia. I'm teaching Russian kids. I'm teaching Russian adults,
okay.
Ukrainian
Okay,
adults. I know
let's
what's
let's
going
let's
on
put a
in their
pause. Let's
country.
put a pause to this because Deck
We'll
One's
we'll
in the
we'll, we'll
house.
pull it pause. It's
Yeah,
fine.
I'm sick of these authoritarian liberals, quote unquote, these so-called Western democracies. Sapporo J is in the house.
Yeah,
Look at that. We're all coming back, man.
that's
Basam's in
pretty
the
good.
house. Here we
Hey,
go. Here we
folks.
go.
Yep.
So my core crew is
Well,
still with me.
you know what? I'll pick up on deck one because he's the OG, and I'll say to him right here, authoritarian. Put his comment back on. Can you put his comment back on right
Yep.
there? So I'm sick of these authoritarian liberals in these so-called Western democracy. Well, you see, like one, that's the problem right there. You're putting authoritarian against democracy, and democracy is like the worst form of communism from what I heard. So if you have anything to say about that one, that's gonna be spicy, man.
Well, I'm telling you, man, it's already spicy. Um, like I mentioned, it's kind of like the USA. If we want to talk politics, I think North America as a whole is like we mentioned the kind of living room um, analogy,
Yeah.
and we're going to let some people in, and we're going to deny other people.
Yep.
And that's exactly what North America is doing right now. They're saying, "Okay,
Exactly.
you're okay, but you're not okay." And unfortunately for us, we are the not okay people because I honestly I don't know. We speak our mind, but it's a matter of you know I don't give a shit about what they, not the audience. I'm going to point over there because if I
you
point
can you
that
can
way, if
you
I
can
point
point in
that
my
way, I'm
direction.
pointing
It's
at the
fine.
chat. Uh, what they um, think because they don't have a realistic perspective
Mhm.
of what we're going through.
It if you want me to really focus on Canada, and guys, just really to put it bluntly to you guys right now, I'm half Irish and half French. Okay, I'm half French Canadian, I'm half Irish. Half of my culture belongs to Ireland and the north of Ireland. So fuck the Queen. I'm just gonna put it bluntly right out there. Fuck the Queen. We don't care about the UK. Get the fuck off my country. Get the fuck off my land. That's all I have to say. And I'm not saying this to put it like political or anything like that. It's just a fact. But if you want me to tell you the country that I was born in, which is Canada, land of the free, home of the brave, you love ice hockey, you hear the fucking anthem every hockey game that you support, it's there. Every single
Yeah.
bit of that anthem today is a lie.
Throw it,
It's
throw
just
it
a
right
lie.
in the toilet.
Yeah, exactly. You hear the flush sound every time that you start a hockey game with that anthem, and it's fucking ridiculous. And Pierre Poilievre, the new leader of the Conservative Party, I give him some creds, but you know,
Sapporo J is correct. The queen died, so it's the king now.
yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter anyway, you know. It's just like it's gonna be the king, it's gonna be the queen, whatever.
Well,
But
she's still on the money, right?
she is on the money bills, yeah. Like Mao Zedong is still on the money bill in the yuan in China.
Mm.
So make sense of that as you want, like 50 million people in China who ended up dying and shit, but his face is still in the money bills today. But anyway, I'm getting distracted. What I'm trying to talk about is that you ended up sending me a video where he has been openly racist. We're talking about Trudeau here, but the video was like 20 minutes plus, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch it tomorrow, kind of.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
then I saw a short where Trudeau in Canada literally said that guns, we're talking about handguns, which is Berettas, fucking shit. What's the name of those handguns that you have Berettas, you have they have different names.
Well, well, yeah. We kind of, as a collective, we kind of know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Well, handguns
It's not a.
anyway.
It's not a Luger.
Yeah, exactly. So those guns, he said that they were no longer purchasable in Canada, no longer sellable and tradable. It's done
Right.
in that
No,
YouTube
but
short.
the reason I sent you that video was because um what he said in French was totally different than what he said in English.
Oh, I have to watch it now.
Yeah. What he said, his French monologue was different than what he said in English. And that's, they had the translation and there was a little bit of talking over it and I couldn't really hear it. And I wish they wouldn't talk over while he was speaking so I can hear exactly what he was saying. But apparently when he did his English monologue, then he did his French monologue, and the French monologue was different than what he said in English. And that's where the racism came in. And he called the truckers, racists.
Undesirable French minority. He went as far as to call them like science unbelievers, and even worse, like we're talking about Hitler level of speech.
I wouldn't go that far, but it's pretty darn close.
Yeah,
it's pretty darn close. And that comes part and parcel with all of what's happened in the last month. All these, YouTube channels got shut down because we were sharing. It's public. It's NTT. It's a government entity, and we were sharing that. And NTT just recently, and YouTube with their new CEO just recently said, hey, we're not having any of this. And then bang, 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 we all got shut down. All of us. I don't know how I'm going to continue with the sumo. I haven't figured that out yet. We got the new YouTube channel up. Thank you for getting the diversion. We're still alive, but we need to figure out something, how to get this to the viewers that don't have access to NTT.
Nobody outside of Japan is going to. But basically, what NHK said, which is the prior, if you guys are not aware, it's the prior viewership of sumo going on, to the rest of the world. So nobody will be able to enjoy sumo if it doesn't come off NHK in the future, which is completely ridiculous. They put it on their YouTube channel. It's basically free form at this point because it's public and it's right there. And then people can't use the content and put extra information on top of it for the rest of the world to enjoy. So Japan
Yeah,
is not sumo only. There's other countries that enjoy this.
exactly. And see, this is the thing that really irks me is that I had no problem promoting NHK, even though I wasn't paid for it. I said, "Here's the links. The links are down below. You
Yeah,
can check out that QR code and stuff like that." And I still got kiboshed. And the fact of the matter is, there's a lot of people that um, enjoy sumo that can't access the website from their particular country, so they look to YouTube to do it. And NHK turns around and says, "No, you can't do that. This is our property." And I'm sitting there going, no, it's not your property. And when I contested them on it, that's when I got my first strike. And then immediately after that, I got 3 more strikes. It was one day I got a strike, and then the next day I got a strike. Then there was one day I didn't get a strike, and then I got 2 more strikes right after that. And they said, I have 7 days to appeal this, and then within 2 days, the channel was gone.
yeah,
So
I can attest to that. Yeah.
it it was absolutely disgusting. Um,
I remember I was probably one of the last one on one of your
yeah,
sumo video that hadn't been like unlisted or privated. So what's his name? Let me have a look here in the chat. His name is Basim. So
that's
sorry if
yeah.
Basim
He's
Murad.
right here. I highlighted his comment.
Yeah. So he is like you get struck again. So he's been putting out like a lot of useful information. He said like a separate sumo channel. Well, Basim, I have some bad news for you, man. It doesn't matter if it's separate or connected to his main channel or not. Japan is going Nintendo, Bassam. That's all I'm gonna. That's all I have to say. Basically, Nintendo, because they're going against their property. They're going for their properties, and they're gonna get him, and they're gonna take him down. So that NHK is the sole proprietary owner of the sumo, online, and
Yeah,
that's just how it is, and it's unfortunate. So a separate channel or not, it's not going to change anything. His separate channel based on sumo is going to get copyrighted and fucking taken down because of
yeah.
that. Sorry if I should
There's
put
no
it that
such.
way.
Okay, and to further your point, um, in the USA we have, or in North America we have fair use laws.
Fair use, yeah.
That doesn't exist in Japan. There's no
Yep.
such thing as fair use.
Yep.
If you're using somebody else's material, you have to have written in triplicate, permission to do it.
Yep.
Um, so the question of what am I going to do with this channel, I'm not exactly 100% certain. How am I going to continue with the sumo? I'm not 100% certain. There are other things I can do, like I can video the bicycle races over there that way.
Yep.
We can do live streams from there. Mobile live streaming. The point was about losing the non-sumo videos. If the sumo was in a separate channel, it would be taken down and still have the other videos.
No, I
But
saw you coming.
yeah. Um, That you're not wrong. You're not
He is
wrong
not.
on you're not wrong on that. All my videos are backed up on Rumble and BitChute. They're all backed up. So if, let's suppose, I do something kind of controversial on this channel, it's still over there. So we're still safe. There's always a contingency plan. So the question is, moving forward, what are we going to do? Obviously, we can't do food reviews. Okay, so that's out of the question. I can
What?
do food reviews. You know, I can't do that. We have no money.
Why not?
Because we have no money.
Okay. Sorry,
Right?
I was like,
We
I was
talked
like, a
about
cabbage
this.
is a cabbage or whatever.
Yeah, we talked about this at the beginning of the video. You know, with the budgeting and stuff like that. So food reviews, I can't do that unless we grow the Patreon base, unless we grow the Ko-fi base. There's no way I can do that.
Buy him a
because-
coffee, guys. Come on.
Yes. I think Bossum is already a coffee member. But when you think about, like, I have to, this month, I couldn't afford the bus to get to City Hall. I had to walk there. And it took me over an hour to walk there. We're at the bottom of the barrel right now. Like we're scraping the bottom. I told Toshiko to call her sister and said, "Hey, we just need a couple $100, you know,
I
to
heard
last,
that.
yeah, to last us until the end of the month." And
Ungrateful brats.
she hung up on us.
Yeah.
Like, seriously? You hung up on us? So, like, why am I pushing to move to Saitama to get closer to the family when the family has already abandoned us?
Is not existent.
It doesn't make sense. They won't talk to us on the phone, so, like, why move there? Why pick up everything that we have and get over there? It doesn't make sense if they won't even talk to us on the phone. So I'm leaning toward you know, a short move to Fukuoka.
Pretty good.
Stay on Kyushu, Kyushu Island. The weather is great. You know, stay in the south. Go where the jobs are, and the jobs are in Fukuoka. Even if we live in the suburbs, you know, hey, that's where I think, you know, the change will be.
Well, I mean, if you look at the prosperous cities in Japan, I mean, across Japan, completely, right? You're gonna see what in there? You're gonna see Tokyo, maybe Yokohama, Sendai in Tohoku, where I'm kind of living around, and then you're gonna see Fukuoka, 100%, right? So
Fukuoka is the fastest growing city in Japan.
well, there you go. You made your point.
Right. So, the reason the doctor suggested moving back to Saitama was so that the family can help us. You know, like, let's suppose I'm working a full-time job. Right? I'm out of the house. Somebody needs to take care of her. So the sister can come in, you know, a couple times a week. The brother can come in a couple times a week. That was the understanding from the doctor. And the best hospitals, you know, you got Tokyo Daigaku Byoing, Tokyo University Hospital. All the best hospitals are in the Kanto area.
Mhm.
So they said, get there and get her the best care possible. Well, that just got cut in half. That just got chopped in half because the family is not willing to help. So, if the family isn't willing to help, the best hospitals are over there. We're in a situation where, okay, so maybe we don't need the best hospital because her condition is not recoverable. Just make her comfortable. And now I'm thinking, Fukuoka. So that's
Fukuoka is pretty comfortable.
Oh yeah, it is. It's a beautiful city. It's really really nice. I've been there several times, and I have no grievances with it. It's absolutely beautiful. It's small. It's walkable. We can, street tours or whatever. It's it's very very walkable. It's not huge. It's not a sprawling town or anything like that. It's and it's got all the amenities that you could possibly want.
Yep.
So I'm that's what I'm leaning towards right now. And that changed as of today. Like
Well,
when
because of the feedback you got from technically Japanese family who kind of like goes shoulder to shoulder and stick with each other, right? So
well, technically Japanese family that went, hey, you're on your own. Gambate.
yeah,
Do your best and cope with it. And I'm sitting there going, thanks for nothing.
I'm sitting here going, I'm not even going to put out on blast what the sister is actually coming off from.
Well,
That's for the audience to figure out.
I had kind of visions of us living in Saitama, and then I would go to, after my lessons are done, instead of hitting the bar, I would hit, the brother-in-law's game center, and just sit and relax, and then go home. Sit and relax at the game center, not necessarily playing games, but just just sit and relax, maybe have a drink, and then go home because it's in the same city. And when the sister hung up on us today, it was like a knife in the heart. It was, it was like I asked Toshiko, I asked her for, what apartments have you found today? What jobs have you found today? What have you done today? Have you done the dishes? Have you done the laundry or whatever? And I'm sitting there going, okay, so none of this. We've got, 0 on the checklist. And let's suppose the family was willing to help. The family could say, oh, I found you this job, or this job is available, or this is available. And no, that hasn't happened. It was, we're talking on the phone, and it was, hang up, we don't want to associate with you anymore. And it's a kick in the teeth. It's you're sitting there, and you're at a low point, and then when you ask family to help or to assist, because you're at this low point, they say no, it gets even worse. So, like, the really honestly, the depression is real. It's seriously out there. I I'm not I'm upset. I'm not depressed. She is. She is totally 100% in the gutter. And I'm thinking, the only way to get us out of this gutter is get something locally, get something done. Fuck the family. The family has already given up on us. Fuck them. Let's get out of this place and get to some place new where the jobs are.
A fresh start, basically.
Yeah, basically a fresh start. The question is, I gotta talk to City Hall and I gotta talk to her caseworker, and I want them to call the company, the hiring company in Fukuoka, and say, hey, we got a candidate for you, and we would like you to take them on, and we're willing to give you a financial incentive, for the first month or something like that.
Mm.
And, if not, that means I have to go to Fukuoka and stay there for 1 or 2 months before she arrives. So she's got to stay here for about 2 months by herself. Now,
oh man, you just you just made me think of a joke. Literally, it's just like hauling ass. Like you gotta stay there 2 months, and then you're hauling ass, and she's gonna get her ass over there.
well, see, that's the thing. She, since her last hospital visit 3 months ago, her next hospital visit is soon. She's fell down every single day.
Whoa, that's even worse than I would have.
Every single day. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes there was 2 of them that were bad. There were 2 that were bad, but the others weren't bad. 2 were bad.
Mm-hmm.
If I have to leave for 2 months, it's going to be kind of difficult.
Well, why don't you give us a rundown of when you decided to go to Saitama for a month and what happened? Just for the people that are uninitiated on the nothingness that your wife is doing sometimes.
Okay. So previously, on the previous channel, you guys, some of you have seen this, some of you have not seen it. I went to Saitama for a job interview, and the job interview was technically 3 days. So I went there for a week. And during those 3 days, I had to teach all the classes. It was an international school. I had to teach the pre-kindergarten, the kindergarten, the elementary school, and the junior high school kids over the course of 3 days. And I did that.
Yep.
It was fine. It was in the Kawagoya area, and I really did fall in love with that area. And I got accepted to the job. They hired me. The unfortunate part was when we went for the rental was I think it was 55,000 yen, 55 or 60,000 yen per month, and it said no, there was zero deposit and zero something else. The two big ones.
Like the landlord money and stuff. Yeah.
No, the landlord money was the kicker.
Oh crap. Okay.
The landlord money was the kicker. So there was the atamakin. You have to translate this, but the initial funds were 0 and 0.
Okay.
But the landlord brokerage fees came out to 3.5 times the actual rental. And we said to the landlord, we went, "Are you fucking serious? You advertise 0 and 0, there's no fees whatsoever, and then you turn around and stick us with 3.5 months
You put it all
in brokerage fees, and we couldn't take it. That was the only rental available in that area, and we said we couldn't take it. And so I had to turn around to the job and say, "Hey, I can't take the job because I have no place to live." And the job turned around and said, "Well, we've never sponsored an apartment for a teacher before, and we're not going to start with you."
Mm-hmm.
And so we lost that job.
But what happened with your wife during that time?
Oh,
That was the point.
Okay. When I was away, City Hall had called us several times, and I couldn't answer the call because the phone was on silent mode because I was in class. And they had one caretaker come in and, make sure that, she was okay. And City Hall came and said, "Hey, where's your husband? What's he doing?" "Oh, he's in Saitama." "Why is he in Saitama?" "Oh, he's looking for a job." "How can he afford that job? How can he afford to go? Where's that money coming from?" And I said, "Well, the money come from, YouTube and my Patreons." And they turned around and said, "Well, you can't use that money for, travel expenses." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck." And it comes full circle right now because the money that you guys that are sponsoring me and stuff like that, it's not going to travel. It's not bus fare. It's not, tickets to the museum or anything like that. This is food on our table. The funds that are coming in go to the bills and expenses and stuff like that, and the Patreon and Ko-fi members, that's food on our table. And I'm not shitting you. That's food on our table. And I'm sitting there, we're not going out to extravagant, there's no videos of us going to extravagant restaurants or anything like that. It's, day-to-day shopping, and you guys are helping support that, and that's why I'm eternally grateful.
Can I take it from you from here a little bit?
No, you can't take it from me, but you can interject. Yes.
Okay, I'll interject real quick. So if anybody is going to watch this video, everything he said is 100% true, but the point that he gets distracted on all the time and that he might not want to say because his wife is dropping a bunch of shit in the kitchen while he's doing this live right now, wondering what's going on. Actually, is she okay right
Yeah,
now?
she's okay. Yeah, she's okay. She's microwaving something.
Okay, cool. Just don't forget it, Tosh, because it might be bad. But basically, what he's getting distracted on is that when he was in Saitama, he came back home to a dark cave in his apartment place. And basically, when he touched on the caretaker coming home, it was basically knocking on the door and being non answered to on the other side of the door. His wife was non. Uh, what is the
Responsive.
non-responsive? Yeah, just like the sensory like hearing and things was just not home when that caretaker came in, and he ended up coming back home to like a dark cave, literally. Like, if
No,
he
no, no.
is not home to take care of his wife and take care of the bills and kick his wife around about the bills, he is going to come back home to a place where there's no electricity activated and there's literally nothing humanely possible, like Wi-Fi or anything like that, heat or d- activated.
Yeah, that's
And
no.
yeah,
Yeah, you hit it. Yeah, you
yeah,
remembered when I came home. Um, the electric was cut off. The NTT bill was cut off. The
yep,
cell phone bill was not cut off that month. It was cut off last month. But um, like I explained to City Hall that she does not have the fiscal responsibility to maintain this household.
yeah, exactly. And guys, what you need to pick up from this stream is that your support does way more than you think it does. If he is not with his wife 24 hours a day, his wife is just going to end up like, we don't even know how bad his wife is going to end up, actually. Like, it's you basically throw a rock in a pond and see how many times it's going to like flip flop before it like goes in the deep water at that point. Like, you ricochet, I guess you can say in French. But yeah, I mean, it's his situation right now. He is a caretaker. And if you guys are wondering why you're not doing this or why you're not doing that, or you keep telling us about this in your previous channel, like the island tour and things like that, the reason why this is not coming in, it's because he has to take care of his wife. And you can give him crap as much as you want, guys, but at the end of the day, you white knighters out there need to take a seat and understand that if he wanted to bail, he would have done it a long time ago, but he actually cares for his wife. That's it.
Well, that point granted. Um, the thing is, I need to follow. In order for me to take care of her, I need to follow the money.
Yep.
And if I don't do that, if I'm sitting there going and following, you know, hey, we got to go with the family, then the family's already abandoned us. We know that. That
Yep.
that happens. So now I'm looking at something more local, something more feasible, um, and let's take it. Let's get the fuck out of here and go to over to Fukuoka, which is over there, and let's get shit done. Because the rent is exactly the same. Sasebo is a small town by comparison to Fukuoka, and the rent is exactly the same. We're paying big city rent for a small town because of the Americans. Um, that's just the way it is. So it's yeah, I don't know.
Yep. I, I mean, like, to I will always say that to each his own, right? So you deal with the situation that you have to deal with, And in your case, you're dealing with the situation as logically as you can, but there's like there's like a cultural barrier somewhere in there. You know, it's like you know what you're asking for and what's coming next because of that. And the other side of the coin is like, no, you understand it wrong, and this is actually what we think the best is for you. And when you say no, it's not the best for us, then that other side of the coin comes back at you, and they're like, no, you don't understand. And you say
Uh,
you don't understand to them, like,
well, I'm going to agree and disagree. There
sure,
is a
sure.
cultural barrier, but
Mhm.
there's also a physical barrier.
Okay.
Because when I went to the real estate agent and paid the rent, and they said, "Why is Toshko not here? Is Toshko okay?" And I said, "No, she's not okay. She's now permanently wheelchair bound. She cannot walk outside.
Wow.
She's
Okay.
wheelchair bound." And they were like, "Oh, okay, okay." So now we're talking a cultural barrier, whereas I'm trying to do the right thing. I get the bills paid, I get this paid, I get that paid, and then there's the physical barrier, whereas she's not available to talk to them.
Hmm.
Right? She's not there. When I go to Shitty Hall, and they're saying, "Oh, you're alone." I'm like, "Yeah, because she can't walk. We can't get her to the bus stop. We have to call a taxi to get her to the bus stop. I've only got 300 yen. The taxi is 510. I have to go alone." And they're like, "Oh, okay, I understand. I understand." So
the
there's
the way you put it is like they're not happy to talk with you or something like that.
no, they want me out of there as soon as possible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And when I talk to them, it's like it's, I, I don't want to rag on her, and rag is kind of like you know a bad intonation, but every time I go to City Hall, she says something bad about me. You know, oh,
Or the Chinese.
oh yes, or the Chinese or the Korean.
Yes.
Yes, every single time. Um, and it's better if I go alone and just do the deed, get it done, get it over with, get out.
Yep.
And it's one of those situations where um, I'm kind of tired of it, um, because I have, as a foreigner, here's a key point, guys. Here's a key point. Um, as a foreigner in Japan, I'm the one that has to carry the burden. Think about that. Think about it. Now, when we were in Canada, when we were living in Canada, as a Canadian, I carried the burden because she couldn't do, you know, the paperwork and stuff like that and do the Canadian things. I had to take her here and there and blah, blah, blah. The situation hasn't changed. I'm in Japan. I'm in the minority. I don't know about City Hall. I don't know about, handicap things. I don't know about the hospital things. And yet I'm the one that's responsible for it? Are you serious? Like how is that, like, I ask her, "Give me a hand. Help me out here." And it it doesn't work. It doesn't happen. So once you become, you know, the the husband or the wife of somebody that needs some caretaking, all the responsibility falls on your shoulders. Period. And the thing is, and this came up in chat a while ago on the previous channel. Some people will use their handicap as a crutch, as an excuse to do less so that you will take care of them and they can, just chill and do whatever they want. That crutch, using your handicap as a crutch, is, I think, one of the biggest sins possible. There's stuff you can do and there's stuff you can't do. If you can't do it, I'm willing to help. If you can do it, screw it. Get it done. All right, guys. We are an hour and almost 15 minutes in, and the chat has pretty much died. Guys, what are you doing? Let's see some of this spicy chat stuff coming in.
There's like 7 viewers last I.
Well, there's 7 viewers right now. Yeah.
Yeah, and I wrote them. I said, don't be shy to write, because we see you 7 viewers.
Well, I think at some point, a lot of the viewers, maybe they live in Japan, maybe they don't live in Japan. I know Dekwan is looking for a property here. A lot of them can't relate to what real life is like in Japan. Dealing with the paperwork, dealing with, a handicap situation, dealing with somebody who's bound to a wheelchair, dealing with, online hatred simply because you're speaking the truth. That's the way it is.
Dealing with most people trying to put you down because they're already lower than you, but they don't accept you as being higher or whatever. It's just like, guys, I know this is not my channel and I should revive mine a long time ago. Okay. But I'm gonna put a PSA right here and tell you guys that if you want to bring me down and you have good points regarding me or how I act or who I am, bring it. Just bring it, and let's have a healthy debate or fair talk about it or whatever. Just you would be surprised how much I know the way that I am or act or speak, generally speaking. And I know 100% that it will not go and jive well with some people. But I call these people the minority of people. I don't call them the fringe, like a lot of governments like to, call there's a smaller group of people nowadays. No, there's a minority, a majority. To each his own. Like, everybody has the right to think whatever they want to think, and that's the beauty of a free speech online internet, in my opinion. Nobody can take that right away from you. Say whatever you want to say, but the only advice I can give to people is try to keep it constructive, right? Just don't go and hit somebody because you don't like that person. Try to tell this person why you don't like them, and then that person can learn something and become better and grow from that comment. So this is honestly the way that I see the internet. The internet is the greatest freedom of speech platform in the world, in my opinion. If we keep it constructive, we can improve each other so much, in my opinion. And that's my opinion. You guys might not agree with me. That's completely fine. To each his own, again. But in my opinion, the way that I see it is that we can grow and be better people because we are online. That's it.
Well, that's like with that statement, I totally agree that open communication is, you know, the best. You know,
Yeah.
don't just, you know, kibosh somebody for the sake of kiboshing them. You know, open the lines of communication, and you know, and that's you know, Japanator. That's what we do with each other. When I sit there and say, you know, I disagree with this, or somebody has disagreed with this, I let you know. I don't
Yeah.
just automatically kibosh you, whereas other people will.
Yeah.
And you know, it's just a matter of, you know, being honest with each other and being honest with yourself.
Yeah.
So with that, guys, we are just over the 1 hour 17 minutes. I want any last comments because I gotta take a leak. Japanator, jump on in. Come on.
No,
Give-
I gotta go take
give-
a leak too. So cut it. I mean, I'm not joking. I gotta go. But hey,
Me too. I gotta take a leak.
highlight Deck One's comment, JCJ rib, because that's a fact. Unfortunately.
Yes. Okay, let's take guys, let's take a 2 minute pee break and we'll be right back. Okay? We'll be
All
right
right.
back. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Celine's in the house. Ah, there we go. New JCJ yet? Not sure. Not sure. But yeah, I went to take a pee break. Given my bowels the last couple days, I wasn't sure if it was a fart or if I had to drop a deuce. But anyway, uh,
God, your toilet is closer than mine.
yes, I specifically made the desk close to the toilet.
Oh, all right. TMI, too much information. But I just wanted to point out Deck One real quick because of the comment he made. It's just like rip JCJ, yes, and let's not forget Reiwa JCJ. And you know, as much as people want to say like, oh, they're haters, blah blah blah. At the end of the day, you know, there's a balance in everything from my point of view, and these people are the balance that, you know, like if you have a bunch of people telling you good stuff about yourself, you need these people to create a balance, right? And it's just like in everything, in my opinion. So that's just the way that I see it online. That's all.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
going to disagree with you with that.
Oh, I saw that coming.
Um, because the original creator of JCJ and then Ray Y JCJ, it was supposed to be a place where us expats can vent about, everyday life in Japan.
Ooh, steam out. Okay.
Yeah, so we can vent and say, hey, this is stupid, blah blah blah, and then it just became a shit fest where they were jumping on other, channels, other Reddits and stuff like that, saying how wrong they are and just trashing them as opposed to just venting about their everyday life. And
Yeah.
um, it just became a shit show. That's, you know, it, like venting and showing funny, stupid stuff. Okay, I can understand. But when you're attacking other people for what they say, then, you know, it kind of goes over the line at that point.
Mhm.
Like
But-
I got jumped on for mispronouncing the name of the shopping mall, and they're like, "Well, the shopping mall name is right there, and you still mispronounced it." Hello, welcome to the wonderful world of accents.
Yeah, fair enough. Actually, about that one. But you were talking about like ridiculous thing or like funny stuff in Japan. Guys, I just want to point out to you guys that I'm old. Okay, I'm not as old as the bald head that you see right there on your screen,
The
but I'm
the shiny.
the shimmering, the beautiful shine. Like, but uh. I'm old, and you guys need to understand that my introduction to Japan was from a man. What was that channel called on local like cable TV in 2000? Was it like MTV? And no, not
No,
MTV. That was
no,
music, but it was like f-
TBS.
no, but it was like the Cartoon Network or whatever in English. YTV, YTV, probably, maybe something like that. But anyways, that's not the point. The point is that in 2000 I saw a series called Banzai, and it was played after the sleep hours of most people, which is 11 p.m., 12 a.m. And if you want to talk about funny stuff related to Japan, you got to go to archive.org right now, write Banzai, and they have the full first season of 25 episodes from 2000. It's not the best resolution, but you guys need to have a look at it, because if JCJ or Reiwa or whoever on Reddit think that they're funny and clever and new age with what they've been doing before they got shut down, I have some sad news for all of you guys. Somebody 22 years ago taught about it before you, and you were probably not born. Maybe you were not born. I don't know. Like I said, I'm old, so I don't know. I kind of relate to my age.
Well, I'm going to say this right now. Japanese TV is whacked, especially the after hours shows.
Yep.
It's nothing you'll ever see in North America. It's
Oh,
it's
totally Moo could never handle that.
moo.
Murr.
Uh, it's totally whacked. You're talking about chicks in bikinis, getting Jello righted on, you know, what do you call those? The inflatable beds. And oh man,
I thought you were about to say like you're talking about those people that are put into a full BDSM like black latex thing with like an artery plug to their mouths to actually allow them to breathe because they're still considered to be human beings. Like that's
Well,
on public TV in Japan. I'm just saying.
I haven't seen that, but I have seen the ones where how they carry the eggs within their cleavage and run across the room.
I saw the carrying eggs in a spoon, but it was in limbo on top of a very hot, liquidy pool of gasified water.
Mm, right.
That's not exactly the same, but I mean it's kind of related to the funniness of the Japanese humor.
Yes. And
Yeah.
that's one thing that people don't understand is, oh, Japanese are so polite and it's so clean and stuff like that. Hello, wake up. Japan is the second largest consumer of pornography next to the USA. And
I
that's
would I
just the
would I
way it
would
is.
check my info on that one.
I did check the info on that one.
So,
They're number two.
so it's up to date. They're still number two.
They're number two, yes.
Wow.
Like,
Okay. Okay. So just to the defense of Japan, because I see the floodgate opens with like like the castle wall coming down and stuff. So just to the defense of Japan, they are way more explicit and open regarding that than the USA will ever be. So they look like they're number one. So before you write a comment, be careful.
yeah, yeah. It's yeah, oddly, it's a very open culture. They no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Uh, it's perfectly acceptable. And for us North Americans, you may find it as kind of like a culture shock, but at the same time,
Offensive.
offensive culture shock. But at the same time, it's here. It happens on a daily basis. Um, I I'm perplexed. I'm perplexed. I don't know what to say about this on that topic.
Before
As
somebody write the comment, you mean perplexed.
no, perplexed. I am speechless. Um,
Okay.
like a while back, I used to sell, um, the manga, the adult manga,
Ooh, the shoujo.
and I would sell those to people in the UK. I would sell them to people in USA, and I would have to rate them, as a, censorship, how much censorship there was, because censorship is a big deal in Japan. And, I would rate them and I would say, this is, 3/4 limp. This is, a full hard on, without saying, how
So
much censorship there was.
so you see, you've just exposed the bias of the online world related to Japan in just that last segment that you went on, because it's like, oh, Japan is related to tentacles. Go watch the different sense video clip of Deer and Gray video, and you'll see exactly what I mean. Okay, and watch the uncensored version, because if you like tentacles, well, there you're gonna be real happy. But anyways, not doing some plug, by the way, but these guys are people that I've been like uh, practicing my vocal abilities the most with over
Okay,
my
wait.
life.
Wait. You're practicing your vocal abilities with
Not on
tentacles.
tentacles. I see
With
where you're
tentacles.
going. I see where you're going with that one. This is not going there. Just YouTube, different sense, uncensored, Dear and Gray, DIRENGREY. That's it. That's all I have to say. If you want
There's just
tentacles, they're there.
just type it in chat. Just type it in chat.
I'm gonna type it in there. But the point that I wanted to say about what JP the J vlog just made is that that's the most ironical and controversial point in all of the Japanese culture, because it's like outside of Japan you got to censor stuff, inside of Japan everything goes. Tentacles, uh whatever
No, it's
kind of.
actually the opposite. It's actually the opposite. Inside Japan, you have to censor it. Outside of Japan, you don't.
What? No.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So why do we have all the shonen ai and shonen and shoujo and all of these like nothing is censored in there. It's just like you want a man on stuff going on, but well you got a manga series covering all of your needs for that. It's the most ironical thing ever, like related to Japan. It's like, oh, we got to censor because we need to look like the good people, but actually in your country you're not the good people. Nothing is censored. Nobody cares.
Okay. There's a law in Japan where okay, everybody says that Japan is
Kawaii.
no, it's a pedophiliac country.
Yeah.
Okay. The reason being is it's illegal to show pubic hair.
Oh, yeah, that's why everything is blocky.
That's why everything is blocky, and that's why they say there's no pubic hair, and they put them into these kind of like, they'll put rabbit ears on them and say that it's not a human.
Never been into the rabbit ears thing before.
Anyways, that's what they do. They'll we're getting way off topic here, but anyway,
I realize.
so they'll put these rabbit ears and faces on these things, and no pubic hair, because pubic hair is illegal, and they'll put the faces on them saying that these people are not human, and that's how they skirt around the law.
Okay.
So when it comes to actual photography, they're stricter than North America. But when it comes to manga, oh god, when it comes to manga, wow, it's like, holy cow, it's you're sitting there going, what am I looking at?
Yep. I couldn't have said it better. And so I guess to put a fair point there, everything that I've been mentioning was related to image on a page only. I'm not talking about anime. I'm not talking about like whatever you see in video format, or nothing like that. So
yeah.
But it exists. That's all I'm gonna say. It exists. If you want it, it's out there. Like, that's
well. Okay, just I want to continue on this a little bit, but not too much.
Okay.
I was blown away when I went to the video rental shop. It's Tsutaya.
Yep.
And all of their foreign adult videos not the Japanese adult videos. The foreign adult videos were on the bottom two shelves.
On display, full on display, you mean?
Full on display on the
Yeah, there
bottom
we go.
two shelves.
Yep.
I was blown away. I'm sitting there going, okay, so this is how Japan addresses their, you know, declining population by showing children foreign adult videos on, you know, like these kids are like, you know, what, 4 foot nothing, and the first two shelves on the bottom are adult videos, not at the top where they can't reach them, but right at the bottom. I'm sitting there going, okay. And I believe I believe that the foreign adult videos are still accessible to Japanese underage juveniles. I believe they're still available today. I'm not sure. I haven't been to a Tsutaya or a video rental shop in ages.
Well, you see, I kind of went back in my memory when I was still living, in Canada. Yeah, Canada, blah blah blah. I know people are gonna be like totally moo and stuff like that. Go moo him. You know what? Let's start a trend right now. If you are part of the totally moo, you have to moo him. Capital letter MOO with exclamation points next stream that he is doing. Let's start this trend. Let's do it. But not advocating it, by the way. You do it on your own volition. I haven't said anything. But the thing is that it made me go back and think when I was still living in Canada, and I know that one of your your previous channel, I made an appearance on one of your stream, and I was like, oh, it's easy for everybody to consume like magazine porn or whatever in convenience store. They're right there on display. But it's the same thing in Canada. I just remembered, if you go to the magazine section of any gas station, built with stuff that you can buy, like bottled drinks or, some really bad wrapped sandwiches or whatever, maybe some hot dogs that they make on the spot for you there, and you go to that magazine section, you're going to see Asian women that are taking it in those magazines. And there's no censorship at all whatsoever in those gas stations. What do you have to say about that? That's what I remember.
Well, I don't know, but I see Bobby in the chat here. Thanks for joining, dear. Thank you, thank you. Now I think as far as gas station adult magazines go, I think that's for the truckers. Personally.
They have a private spot to do it.
Yeah, I think, the variety store would, suit most of us in Canada. It's off the top shelf and stuff like that. But whereas it comes to the gas station, I think that's for the truckers. But, hey, I don't know. I'm not a trucker. We would have to ask one of them. But here in Japan, 7-Eleven dropped their I'm not going to say all of 7-Eleven, because somebody said 7-Eleven dropped their adult magazines, and I found different, that not all 7-Eleven dropped their adult magazines. They've got kind of like a little block. They got the regular magazines, and they've got a little block, and then they've got the adult magazines. But the funny thing is, and it's really really strange. You pick up sports newspaper in Japan, and they will have adult content in there. I shit you not. I'm going to do a video on it. I'm going to pick up a bunch of
You mean like the baseball bat not swinging the ball type of content?
No, we're talking, oh, here's the sports headlines and blah 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 blah, and then you get to the center page and whoa, look at that type thing.
Okay.
It's really really interesting. I'm going to do a video on it. I'm going to do a live video on it. But guys, again, thank you for the Patreons, because as Japanator mentioned, your support is more important than you can possibly know. The Patreons, the coffee members, that
buy him a coffee, guys. Come on.
Yeah, that provides food on our table. It's like we don't get to do the extravagant trips and stuff like that. It's your support says, hey, we get food for the month. So I would like to thank everybody.
Yeah, and just to reiterate to anybody who is actively watching right now, be constructive, guys. Like we have one of the biggest available to us communication tool ever that we ever had in our lifetimes, or even in our grandparents. Like our grandparents wish that they had something like we are using today. Just be constructive, right? I mean, you don't need to be a hater. You don't need to hate somebody. Allow people to understand your point. Like, put a point to your disdain or to your liking, and always allow somebody to reach its full potential, in my opinion, right? Just but basically, don't be a hater is what I'm trying to say. And if you are going to be a hater, at least tell people why you're a hater and why you are hating on someone. That's it.
And that is a critical point. Every time I thumbs down a video, I explain why I thumbed down the video. I said, I don't like this video because of blah, blah, blah. And I explain it. If you don't like the what I'm producing, let me know. Tell me why you don't like it. Don't just, thumbs down it. Tell me why. Say, I dislike this video because of blah, blah, blah. Leave it in the comments.
Yeah, and basically what I was trying to say is that the idea of being online takes a lot of willpower already, just to put your face out there. And the idea of fighting between each other is counterproductive. Everybody should support each other so that you can reach your full potential, you can grow. So you're gonna have people that don't like something. Okay, well, the internet is full of things, so just go watch something else. In the case of myself, like he just said, I watch somebody play video games all the time because I find it entertaining, and sometimes I fall asleep to it. There's one guy called Pro Jared. His name is Jared Nabenbauer. Actually, that's his full name. And I noticed that he has been wasting a lot of the viewers' time in his videos. And I actually called him out into a comment. I was like, well, if you're wasting my time, I'm going to skip forward in the video. You don't want people to skip forward in your video. You're watching the video content because every second is interesting and you want to see what you have a chance of missing. So if you skip the video, you're actually missing something. And that's what you don't want to do as a viewer. So I told him in a comment, if you waste my time knowingly, that's the biggest thing that I feel myself as a viewer. So I'm going to skip ahead in your video. And I'm trying to be constructive most of the time. And I'm not trying to set an example here, but I feel like I understand that not everybody has time to write a comment. But, you know, if you have the time, try to do it. That's all I'm saying.
Well, no, that's part and parcel with YouTube is constructive criticism. If you have something that you want to say it. You know, don't just, you know, up it and leave it at that. Don't just down it and leave it at that. You know, let me know what you want to see. Let me know what, you know, what I should be saying. I'm not sitting here saying I'm going to pander to the audience. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying is, what is my audience? What do you want to see? And I can provide more of that. And, you know, because I can provide more of that, then, you know, sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. It's a matter of, you know, let me know what it is, because this is like a brand new channel. Let me know. Let me know what it is that you want to see. And I will try my best to, you know, go with the flow and say, hey, you know, you want to see this? You want to see burgers, or you want to see fish, or you want to see fishing, or you want to see this, or you want to see that. You want to see some parks. I will do my best to go with the flow that you, the audience, wants to see. And I'm not going to go with the algorithm as to, you know, what's trending. I want to know what you want. And, you know, whether it's cleaning the kitchen, you know, some people want to see me doing that.
Little Houses of Horrors.
Yes, Little House of Horrors. That's coming up. You know, it's...
He's taking a moment to put his thoughts together.
Exactly, right? I'm sitting there. Well, today's what? Today's the 6th, so it's Monday. It's Sunday for the guys in North America. Monday is pretty much a non-day for me. Sunday was the cleaning day, and I've done all the cleaning. There might be a Monday cleaning coming up, you know. Oh, wait. Wait. Basam's got one. Since you're asking, walks around the city, malls, and sites.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay, walks around the city we've done on the old channel. I can do that on this current channel. Malls we can do. on this current channel. Sites. I want to do sites on this current channel.
Oh, actually, Basim. That's how you say his name, Basim, I guess. So he brings up an interesting one with the last point, sites. You're always pointing out at the bay, but you've never been at the bottom of those. Like
On the old channel, I was.
I never saw that.
On the old channel, I was. I can go to the bay. The problem is walking back up to the bay. I'm not going to live stream that or record that because it's a total huffer. I can get to the bay and I can show you the puffer fish that are down there.
No. What? JP, not the fish. Show the big boats that you're always pointing at.
I can't.
Really?
I'm locked out. That's USA military. I'm locked out.
Okay, so you would have to be on the base to be able to.
Right. I have to be on base. Yes.
Because that would make for an awesome video. Like you're at the bottom of like like you're on the dock and you're like right under like the that would be amazing.
Sometimes they come to the public docking area, but when they're on base, I cannot walk there. It's fenced off.
Okay, I see.
So, there are 2 points of interest. One is the bay right down by my apartment. I can get you guys to again. The other one is over there, which is a high point island. I can get you over there just walking. And obviously downtown. Now, where Basim, I'm going to bring his, when he comes up with sites, I might be able to get to some observation sites on top of the mountain and, film it from there. Tabby, shout out to Tabby Eats. They did that because they couldn't get on the boat. Yeah, it's possible. Celine, I wonder if you would get arrested if you took pictures. No, I will not get arrested if I took pictures, but if I took a drone out there, I would get arrested.
Yeah, that was how are you reading my mind about that kind of stuff? I was actually thinking right now, like, what if you flew a drone, not exactly in the perimeter of the base, but like just close enough so that you can get a clear shot. Oh.
Well, what I've done on the last channel was I walked the fence grid. And it was totally uninteresting. It was like really, really boring walking the fence grid because it's tall grass and it's not taken care of and stuff like that. Yeah. Celine again. Yeah, drones are sketchy here in Japan. I don't know the rules, but I heard it's strict here. Celine, it depends on the population density. If the population density is more than a certain amount, then you need a license. If it's less than a certain amount, you do not need a license. So if you're flying it over water, there's no population density, and you're allowed to do it. You do not need a license to fly it over water.
Yeah, I haven't had a neighbor, Celine, just to put it, Céline, Ferdinand. I guess it's French, honestly, but just to put it bluntly, I live in a very packed neighborhood, and I had people like walking around in the morning of like garbage and stuff when I decided to take off my DJI Mavic Mini The drone, that's a tongue twister right there. Mavic mini drone, and I flew it over like a hill or something, and all of my neighbors, which are like 4 or 5 of them that came out, they were all looking up at like that white thing in the sky, and none of them came over to me and said like it's illegal in Japanese or anything like that. So yeah.
Yeah, it depends on the population density. If
Mhm.
you're more than X number of people per kilometer squared, you need this license. And if you're more than X number of people per, like Tokyo per kilometer squared, you need an aviator license. Uh, it depends on where you are and where you're flying it.
Mhm.
It's complicated, but it's really, really simple. So if you have a drone and you go to a less, like a rice farm or something like that, you're
Mhm.
fine. You know, there's nobody there. You're less than the X number of people per kilometer squared. You're fine. But
You're just pressuring their crop productions. That's fine.
yeah. So I saw a guy flying it down near the river. I talked to him and said he did not need a license. It was a rural area in Ibaraki.
No, Ibaraki, yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. You know, the X number of people per kilometer squared. Um, you don't need a license if it's fewer than X number of people per kilometer squared. Over the ocean, that's fine. Rice fields, that's fine. You have to look it up. I don't, off the top of my head, I don't know exactly what the numbers are, but it's flying a drone in Japan is a heck of a lot easier than flying a drone in North America, where you need the, you know, aviator's license and, you know,
Traffic
the
flight
GPS,
patterns.
the flight patterns, yes, etc.
Yeah. I heard some nightmare stories about that because they don't limit their drones like they do in Japan. Like my drone is limited at like 500 meters over whatever surface that it flies above to. So if I'm like at 2,000 meters up in the sky, my drone is gonna lift off at like 500 meters, and it's going to be stuck there. And I can remove that limitation or make it bigger, but you know, basically they say that if you're a kilometer over surface, you're basically without license requirements, sort of. But no, a kilometer would be 1,000 meter. Yeah, okay, I'm right in my metrics. Good. So if you're that high above the surface that you're flying from, you're okay. You're like in a safe area. But if you decide to like unlock it and get it to fly like way up there, first of all, my Mavic is not going to reach 30,000 feet. It's not going to be in any flight patterns whatsoever. And uh, people that are in that kind of flight expertise of drones that are way more powerful, in
They're
my
not using a
opinion,
Maverick Mini.
probably not. But what I'm trying to say is that these people should get a flying license and know the flight patterns, because you're talking about putting in jeopardy like the lives of like 500 plus people in a Boeing jet,
Yeah,
in a commercial flight. So don't
yeah.
don't do that.
Here in Japan, the you can go to a regulatory school and learn, you know, the flight patterns and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's fairly simple, and as far as the guidelines go, it really goes by population density. Uh, if you want to fly a drone in this area, you have to have, a certain amount of headroom, by population density. And if you're in Tokyo, you have zero headroom. And that's kind of the way it goes. Japan is, for drones, is fairly easy. It's the regulations are, fairly lax. But oh man, we're just on 2 hours. Wow.
Yep.
Okay, guys. Last questions before we cut off. Bossum, Celine, anybody? Dekwan, anybody? Last questions before we cut off for the night.
Well, my last question to you would be, what is your next video going to be about?
That's an
interesting one.
That's a very good fucking question. Okay, I got to work on the yoga videos. And I'm of two mindsets on that. And like, do I upload the videos to the editor and then upscale them? They're currently at 720p. And then do I upscale them to 1080 later? Or do I just wait and upscale them, all at once? Then, as for the J-Vlog portion of this, I need to upload some more shorts, and Mumble is not being very friendly to me. I'm not seeing the songs that I want. I want to upload more shorts. As far as a full-length video goes, we're probably looking like I can't get out. So it might be, I don't know. We'll see. As far as the J-Vlog portion of this goes, we'll see. I can't guarantee any schedule at this time. I might go to a park, maybe, and see how that goes. I don't know. Like I said, and yeah, we'll see. Like, there's no Sasebo burger or anything like that coming up because, obviously I can't afford it. Going to a park that I can walk to, maybe. I haven't been to Tenjin-Yama Park, which is only one bus stop away. I might be able to get there. But yeah.
So it's like the mountain park, kind of.
Yeah. I want to get to the observatory next month. But Toshiko is going to be in the wheelchair for City Hall, so that might be put off. I don't know. Like, the observatory to the islands is right near City Hall, but I can't take her with me because she's in a wheelchair. I would like to go by myself, but if I go by myself, then I got to do the shopping and stuff like that. And yeah, so it's a shit show. Okay, Japanator, take over for a couple of seconds. I gotta take a squirt.
All right. I thought you were going to call it a night.
Just until I get back.
All right, sure. Well, I already wrote in the chat, like, there's, I think apart from me and him, we got like 4 people that are watching this. So it's the last call, guys. If somebody has a question, put it right now. Celine or Basim or Dekwan, have you ever been to Sapporo? No, I've never been to Sapporo before. It's the northern part of Hokkaido. I know that much. I would love to go visit maybe Hakodate in the future. Is Dekmon still here? Well, as part of the participants, he doesn't seem to be active right now. That's all I have for you, unfortunately. And by the way, Celine, I got a question back at you. Are you French or English? I was thinking about moving to Sapporo. Well, Sapporo seems like a good place, but it's the north part of the island. Like, if you're talking about the gap between Russia and Japan, right across the northern edge of Sapporo is what you call the Sahalin Islands, and that's owned by the Russian people. His famous book, Debt on the Installment Plan. No, Celine was a French writer. His famous book. Okay, that's interesting.
Wait, I thought Sapporo was kind of center middle of Hokkaido.
Last time I looked on the map, it was put as the northeast side of Sapporo.
Okay, so, let's take a look here.
Hakodate is like the smack dab, like southwest, kind of. Maybe I'm wrong. So this journey to the end of the night. It does look like a nice city, but you want to be careful with your.
It's on the southern. It's just north of Hakodate. It's on the south.
It's like a
west,
diagonal from Hakodate.
Southwest.
Okay.
It's not in the northern area of. It's not in northern Hokkaido.
It's not in northern. Okay. I know it's diagonal from Hakodate. That's as much as I know from it. Like that person Celine asked me, like, have you ever been to Sapporo? And my answer was no. I know Hakodate, but I don't know Sapporo very well.
Well, Sapporo is kind of like Fukuoka.
Mm-hmm.
It's a modern city. It's got straight streets, unlike other parts of Honshu, where the streets curve around the mountains and stuff like that. It's very North American. It's straight streets, and every kilometer you got a signal, you got a street, a signal, a street, a signal. It's very much like very much like North America. It's very flat.
One thing I wasn't wrong about is that if you want to move to Hokkaido, I know Hakodate, and Hakodate is the southern part of Sapporo. So Sapporo is northern to Hakodate, basically.
Yes.
Speaking. So that's the part that, like, my knowledge goes to there. As where Sapporo is exactly in Hokkaido, like, I've never been there, so yeah. That's
okay. So
that's
Celine asks, what do I like better, Fukuoka or Nagasaki? I'm gonna say Fukuoka. Simply because, hang on, let me pull this in here. Fukuoka is, it's a new city. Nagasaki is an old city. Nagasaki Prefecture has the most taxi cabs in all of Japan
Oh, it's
because
like New York.
because of its mountainous areas. It's difficult, really, really difficult to navigate in Nagasaki Prefecture. And Fukuoka is a little bit more flat. Now, Fukuoka City is built on a plain. It's a flat area. It's a flat area, but the suburbs are all mountainous. So, yeah, it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Well, if you have problems with hiking, don't go there.
Yes, like daily shopping. You're going up the hill, down the hill, up the hill, down the hill. You know. Yeah, Fukuoka is easy to navigate. I would also like to know the airport is easily reachable by subway. Yes.
Oh yeah. The second part I can corroborate for that 100%. If you have a portable game console with you and you're willing to spend 4 hours, it's pretty good to reach Busan in South Korea.
Yeah. Fukuoka is absolutely a gem of a city to live in. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. I taught at Kyushu University from 2010 to 2012. Oh. Yeah. Fukuoka is amazing. Like, there's so many ferries, there's so much to do. You can take a ferry from Fukuoka and just take it around the islands, and there's so much to do over there. And
Yeah,
it's
you
grown.
can reach South Korea, the Philippines, Thailand, Taiwan. Like, it's yeah. I mean, Okinawa, but if you have a choice between Okinawa and the Philippines, go to the Philippines. That's all I have to say.
Fukuoka Airport. Oh my God. It's amazing. It's so cool. It's just unbelievable. Even when I went to, Haneda and Haneda Airport, it was leaps and bounds better than they were. It's just like the city is growing. It's just very,
you
very
mean
modern.
Fukuoka was better than Haneda?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's leaps and bounds growing, and I think personally speaking, I think now is the time to get into that area because it's growing. I don't know what's going to happen in 5 to 10 years, but we'll see. We'll see. But it's a major hub, and you can get from Fukuoka, you can get to anywhere in Japan that you want. It's super easy. It's super convenient. And not nearly as expensive as anywhere near Tokyo. Okay, guys. 2 hours, 15 minutes. We're going to call it a night. And that is going to be it. I want to thank everybody for joining in. Thank you to all the Patreons, because you are putting food on our table. You are helping us survive. I wish the Patreon coffee members get in there. We're not extravagant. We're just, we're just surviving. Give us a hand if you want. Every little bit helps. And I will see you very, very shortly. Okay, guys. Take care.